What's up? This is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on November 19th, 2025. How's it going, Jack? Jack, we are not hearing you. I don't think I'm hearing.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, there we go. Yes,
There he
we
is.
go. Sorry,
you're back. It's
I
okay.
am like coming in hot today.
So too hot, so hot we can't hear you.
Yeah,
It's been a day.
but how are you guys doing? How's everybody?
Not good. Not good in the last hour. But
Oh, no.
I'll get into that in a bit. No, I'm fine. It's a small thing. Jess, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's crazy. I have like 2 weeks left of the semester, so it's crunch time, but also the end is in sight. So very nice.
Yay, the end is in sight. And if you want to participate on the game show, go ahead and write into us on our YouTube channel. And you can do it when we're live or when we're not live, because I always read those and comment on them later. So feel free to do that anytime. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the stuff. Since 2002, the game show is a celebration of video games and our collective interests mixed with a healthy dose of humor, while bringing in our favorite people in the game and movie industries on as guests, except not today. We've got just us. We've got just us today. And also some bugs, but we'll talk about that here in a second. So kind of first up, the big news around, by the way, I'll tell you why I can't hear it in a second, but I'm not able to hear the background music. So if the mix isn't good, please let me know. I have it set to those settings. I always have it, but I can usually monitor it. But it's going to be a big reveal here as to why I can't hear it here in a minute. Jess and Jack already know. But the Analog 3D is out. It's been anticipated for a very, very long time, and it kept getting delayed. And unlike Analog's other products that they showed videos and screenshots and things of, well, a lot leading up to their releases, they didn't show much on the Analog 3D, so people were kind of wondering about it. There's a ton of videos out there right now about it on... Sketchy Ceviche says the big reveal. It's just the big reveal of my tech issues. It's nothing that exciting. So there's a lot of videos out about it. But basically, it's pretty good, it seems, from all the different reviews I've seen. I'm personally not really interested in it because I like playing on the real hardware. But if you're down with analog stuff, I think that this is probably right up there with everything else. It does a nice job of, you can overclock the N64, but it's not going to look like an emulator. It's still outputting it like the N64, but upscaling it. So, but the cooler thing that I'm more interested in, just because of the way I play N64, is the controller, because Try, from My Life in Gaming, has never liked a third-party N64 controller, ever. And he likes this one. So I got to try it out. Because he's never found he did a whole thing on the analog sticks and how none of them are accurate enough for Mario. And he likes this one. So way to go. Way to go on that. So it's finally here. I'm going to skip this one. I'll talk about that one last. Let's get into more happier stuff first. Steam machines, Jack. Take us away with the Steam machine.
Yeah, so Valve announced out of nowhere last week a new Steam machine. Like they decided, hey, we've learned a lot from the Steam Deck. We've learned a lot from our Valve hardware survey. Hey, it is time. Let's try these Steam machine things again. So it looks like a cube. It's like a 6-inch cube, 6x6 cube, 6x6x6.
Is it a GameCube?
No, I mean it could be, but it's. In form and function, it is a GameCube.
I know. I'm kidding.
But yeah, they said this thing's going to be like 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. It is going to have options of 512 or 512 gigs or 2 terabytes of storage. And it's using like RDNA 3 from AMD. So we'll kind of see. I'm kind of excited. I don't really have a need for a Steam Deck. I've got, you know, an Xbox, a PS5. I've got my under the TV game boxes right now. But hey, if you're going to tell me I can put a thing that's kind of just, you know, a Steam Deck, but in cube form underneath my TV, I mean, yeah, I'm going to probably put that somewhere. I'll buy one. Now,
for $1.
They haven't announced. Yeah, definitely for $1. They haven't announced pricing, so that's going to be coming soon. They did say that these are going to be announced in or they're going to be released in Q1 of 2026. So no firm release date yet. So something to be on the lookout for. I mean, I've really trusted Valve a lot with a lot of their hardware decisions over the last few years, and not only that, but they also revealed the Steam Frame, which is a new VR headset that's supposed to be more of a competitor to the Meta Quest, the Facebook Quest, if you will, and that line. And it's not really going for the same audience as the Valve Index. It's kind of that more consumer grade headset. Looks like it's going to work with their Steam machines. It's going to work with Windows. It's going to work with Steam. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then one other thing too, not only did they announce the Steam machine, the Steam Frame, but they also announced a new Steam controller. So I don't know if anybody else remembers the Steam controller they released, like what, 2014, 2015? I have one,
unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's not great. They tried some things, right? They tried some things.
Oh, I love that. I love that they tried different things, and I like that they, really tried to be innovative. So I don't want to make fun of it. I just, functionally, for me, it wasn't what I needed. Yeah.
But, they were trying to innovate. And what's kind of cool is, the Steam Deck launched and had some pretty good ideas. The little trackpads it has are great. If you need to use them for like an RTS or something like that, they work really well.
Yeah.
So the new Steam controller has those. So it's got your analog sticks, your D-pad, your face buttons, and then it also has 2 thumb pads too for like trackpads. And it also has a third button on the back too. So we'll see what those get used for. But like, I mean, hey, I'm kind of there for all of it. Maybe not the controller so much, but like, bring it on. Like I'm excited to see that they're doing something new. If this thing gets released and you have Half-Life 3, like, a few months after release, they said it's not going to be at launch. But like, if there's a Half-Life 3 coming, I mean, you have a system seller right there.
Yeah. No, I love that Steam's releasing hardware, and Steam is such an awesome service. Like, I think it's probably my favorite of the different delivery services for games. I love my TV. So this, but also it's a big step down in power from my computer. So like, but no, I love that they're doing it. I like the design of it. I think it's a really nice design. I like the new VR headset, and I think the controller's pretty cool. I think it's a big step up. And again, I don't want to destroy the old Steam controller. Like, even though it wasn't for me, I do like the different things they tried with it. And it'd be really fun to see what the new one is. And, it runs on Steam OS, which is based off of Arch Linux. So I like Steam and Valve putting more money into focusing their efforts away from Windows and into Linux gaming. So yeah. But very cool stuff.
It's exciting times for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like I think it's a really cool. I hope it ends up working out well and sells really well. And I did want to mention 8-Bit Moss Playa said, didn't the Polymega take like 1 million years to release? Analog's delay was a blink in the eyes in comparison, or am I wrong? No, I think you're probably right. Analog did delay a lot, but Analog has always delivered. I mean, I will say they have delayed stuff, but they've always ended up delivering. So I hear you on that. And then or a Portal 3 somehow, Maximus Prime says. That would be nice.
That'd be cool too. I just don't know you're going to get Chet Falisek to come back to Valve. Like, I know he broke off for a reason.
Yes. Very true. Okay. Game Awards.
Yeah, so the Game Awards nominations are out for 2025. We can't go through all the nominations here, but we can certainly go through the Game of the Year ones. So, without further ado, your nominees for the Game of the Year for the Game Awards are Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, DK Bonanza, or Donkey Kong Bonanza, if you will, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
That's a good list.
That's a pretty good list, yeah. I mean, I think the one I'm kind of surprised didn't make it on there was Ghost of Yote, because I've heard some pretty good things about that. But, you know, other than Kingdom Come Deliverance, because I just haven't played it, I can't disagree with anything on that list. So hot takes real quick, just having learned of this, what is your pick to win?
Expedition 33.
Jess? Same? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the oddball then. I'm going to say Hades 2.
That's a really great one too.
I would be cool with that.
I would totally be fine with that.
Yeah, I would be fine.
I've played, I've had it for over a month, and I'm still like doing at least one run a night because I still haven't beaten Chronos. I
would be okay actually with most of those. Like, I wouldn't be really upset if any of those won. Yeah. I'm not huge into Death Stranding, I have to admit. I like the idea. I like Kojima. But to me, it's just not a party.
I've heard some things about how that game ends and where it goes, and just the quality of life improvements over the first Death Stranding and the gameplay. And like, I'm very excited. I've picked it up on PS5 finally, so I will play it before the end of the year. I've got some time off coming at work that I'm going to use some of that time to play Death Stranding 2. I am very excited to get to it.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be excited to hear what you say about it.
Yeah, you know me, I'm a big Kojima fan too, and like, I hear this is kind of his most, next to Metal Gear Solid 5, this is his most complete and like playable game he's ever made.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's good. Do you have to play Death Stranding 1 to get it? Because I don't want to play Death Stranding 1.
No, I just go online and watch an explainer.
Okay, I can do that.
You do not want to slog. You do not want to slog through that entire game.
Yeah, I don't want to slog through it. Any more on that before I go into my hatred?
No, I would just say if you're interested in the Game Awards at all, the show is actually on December 11th. Check it out. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Twitch. Jeff Keighley will love you forever if you watch it.
I like the Game Awards. I know it's like a big advertisement and all that, but like I enjoy it. I mean,
they do a pretty good job.
Growing up at a time where you never saw video game stuff ever, like the fact that there's a video game awards show, even if it's corporate or whatever, the criticisms, whatever, I like it. I enjoy it. I try to watch as much of it as I can every year, and I think he's a pretty good host. I
agree. No, they do. He does a really good job, and yeah, I'm excited to see it continue and be as big as it is.
Yeah, me too. No, it's good for games, I think, overall. So just quickly go into some awesome news that happened before the show. So about it, and I just want to know if anyone else has experienced this. So I'm getting ready for the show. I'm in OBS rearranging the scenes for tonight and looking at my topics, and everything's fine. And I don't restart. I don't do anything. And all of a sudden I get this message that says we've detected a hardware change and Windows is no longer activated. So I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. And I've had that happen before when I've updated and stuff, and I just go into the troubleshooter and it works and it's fine. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go in the troubleshooter, no big deal. So I go in the troubleshooter, I do the thing, and it like spits out errors everywhere I go. When I log in, it's like, oh, sorry, we can't activate. So then I'm like, well, I didn't change hardware. I didn't even plug in a USB stick, but I'm gonna tell it that I changed hardware and see what it does. And it just kept saying, sorry, we cannot activate. I even went into the store to see if I could buy a license. It wouldn't even let me buy a license.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I wonder if it has something to do with the Cloudflare issues that are going on. I thought those had kind of wrapped up.
I say, yeah, that was pretty much yesterday. I didn't realize. Are they still going on?
Well, I don't think so, but I want there to be a reason for my sadness tonight. But no, it's really, really frustrating because then I tried restarting. I tried disabling secure boot. I've gone through a bunch of things. I went through all the support stuff you can do that's built into Windows 11. Nothing helped. But the really crappy thing is, so once it's deactivated, it says you can't do anything to personalize Windows, which means I can't change sound outputs. I can't change sound inputs. I literally can't change any settings whatsoever. So I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to do the show because it defaults it to an output that absolutely would not work for the show. Luckily, OBS and the system we use, Ninja, allows you to kind of set things within the software. But like if I wanted to play a game right now, I wouldn't be able to hear it until I figure out the activation issue. So, but you know, on the flip side of things, I've been like messing with Linux quite a bit the last couple of weeks, and I actually really like it. I haven't found anything that I want to do that I can't do in it yet, and it's so much faster on my PC. Even the games run better. Obviously you can't do the NHE games, and there's the downsides there, and Adobe and all that stuff, so it's, you know, it's not for everybody. But I did go in and set up OBS this week in Linux, and there's only one thing remaining, and it's just a low pass filter, which I'm sure exists. I just haven't really looked yet. And then basically I'd be able to run the show there. So Microsoft, this might be the last time. Hopefully I wake up tomorrow and it's just fine.
Like I said, you might just need to reboot or check your BIOS.
Rebooted.
It's a TPM chick issue.
I rebooted. I went into the TMC thing. I did, and I didn't change any settings. I didn't change any settings.
Yeah, sometimes it just, you know, a bit gets flipped here or there, man.
I know.
Microsoft wants blood.
They do. And Jack was joking. It's like, it's because of all the things I said years ago, and it probably is. Yeah. It's definitely like I have some karma out there for that. So I probably deserve it. And hopefully tomorrow I wake up and it's fine and it's just some temporary thing, because that happens, you know, sometimes. Otherwise I'll contact Microsoft, and if they tell me to reinstall Windows, I'm done. I'm done with Windows forever. I'm not going through that.
I think that's fair at this point.
So anyway, I do love technology. I actually do. So if anyone's had that problem where Windows is all of a sudden deactivated, like just all of a sudden, and you haven't been able to fix it with the standard methods that usually work, hit me up. I love to hear your stuff. But with that said, let's go into more fun things. And the more fun things are movie and TV adaptations of video games. This is a topic I've actually been looking forward to for a bit. Mainly because I want to hear y'all's stuff. Like, I want to hear your perspective, Jess and Jack, on these games, or these movie and TV adaptations of games, because it's always fun. Since I was wrestling with Microsoft, I don't have any TV adaptations, so I'm just going to add on to y'all's. But you picked some good ones.
Fair.
So with that said, Jack, why don't you hop into
Yeah, so my first pick is Castlevania, the Netflix series, the animated series. It's pretty great. It starts off a little slow if you watch all of it. Like, the first season is really just kind of like, hey, here's what we're thinking we're doing. But then like season 2 and 3, and then Castlevania Requiem, the new one that they just did, really kind of just hit the ground running and give you what you want. You get Richter Belmont fighting alongside Alucard and Sophia or Sypha, and they fight Dracula and all his minions and all the vampires and all the nasty things that go bump in the night. And it's awesome, and it's anime, and yeah, they do a really good job adapting it for the small screen. It's pretty awesome as far as adaptations go. I like the voice cast they got's fantastic. You got James Callis. You've got oh my gosh, I can't think of his name now. I can see his face. He's, oh my gosh,
I hate when British this happens.
Actor,
this happens to me too.
British actor, 28 days later, or 28 weeks later. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, it's got a great cast. Sorry. Robert,
Richard Armitage, James Callis, Alejandro Reynoso, Theo James, a name I'm not going to pronounce, Jamie Murray, Graham McTavish, Emily Swallow, Jessica Brown Finley. Any of these the ones you're going for?
Nope.
Bill Nighy?
Bill Nighy's awesome, but not him.
Gildart Jackson, Matt Fuhrer, Matt Lowe, Maura Quirk, Rila Fukushima, Jason Isaacs, Malcolm McDowell.
Robert Carlyle. That's who I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, Robert Carlyle. But yeah, Richard Armitage. Yes, Thorin Oakenshield himself. It's a great cast. Thank you for jogging my memory.
No problem. I can always read a list.
Yeah.
IMDb for the win. No, Castlevania, I love that they made a series. I do agree there was a couple fun moments in that first season. Isn't the first season the one where the corrupt priest is in like the church and he's like, your God won't save you now. Like that was a pretty intense moment. But I do agree with you that for the most part it does start out pretty slow.
Yeah. Yeah, that first season, it's like 4 episodes, maybe 6 episodes, but it's really just like, hey, here's what we're thinking. This is like our tone piece. And then they came back with season 2 and like, okay, here we go. This is what we really wanted to do.
Yes.
We got the money for it now.
Yes.
It was 4 episodes because I just watched it recently. I haven't finished the entire thing yet. And I was very kind of about the fact that it was 4 episodes for the first season. In theory, I kind of like it because it's like a good like prequel to get people into it that don't know, what the situation is. But I don't know if I'd specifically been watching it because I wanted to be able to talk about it a little bit for this. I'm like, I don't know if I would have continued otherwise necessarily. But then I'm like halfway through, I think, season 2, and I'm like, it does pick up and it gets really fun. So it's just a very interesting choice.
Yeah. Yep.
I like the short seasons. I mean, you know my criticism of those series. I always think that they're too long, and that's a me thing because obviously everyone loves all those super long series because they do super well. But for me, I just feel like there's so much, and maybe just because I don't have as much time as I used to. But I like them shorter. For that. I like them shorter. But great choice. Great choice. Jess, you haven't played too many of the Castlevania games, right?
Not too many of them. I think the only time I ever really played them growing up was when I like borrowed them. I don't think I ever owned any of them. So I've played like bits and pieces of a bunch of the different ones, but I've never, I don't think, like sat there and played all the way through.
You played probably more than I thought you did then, because it would be interesting for me to see your perspective as someone like Jack and I grew up like it's one of our favorite series of all time. So it might it's just interesting to me, like if you haven't played it as much, what you would think kind of going in a little more blind.
And I would say that I was blind in the like story aspect of it, because again, I'm like playing bits and pieces and not necessarily getting like the full arcs of the games. And I think they handle the story really well in the show. I'm like really into it. So
I mean, I'll give them a lot of credit. There's really not that much story to build on, so they do a really good job of actually just creating a story.
Yeah, Castlevania is really just like a tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that actually makes it easier as a writer. Of you get the atmosphere and the vibe and like the characters and like the main goal, but then you get to kind of experiment and do things without having to worry about what works and what doesn't work and what people are going to be okay with you messing with and people aren't. It's a little bit easier to do, I think, in a lot of ways.
I can see that.
For sure. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to build on a property like that. And Maximus Prime also writes in, Devil May Cry on Netflix was great.
I heard it was good. I haven't seen it yet.
And 8-Bit
It's on my list.
Yeah, me too. I love Devil May Cry. It's especially the first one. I like the other ones too. Those are actually I was playing. There was a Humble Bundle recently that gave you like every Devil May Cry game, and I didn't have any of them on Steam. I had them on other consoles, but so now I have every single Devil May Cry game on Steam for like $15.
Nice.
Including 5. So, but 8-Bit Moss Play says, okay, the show's about movie spun off from games. I thought it was the other way around. Yes, it is the other way around. And it's going to be fun to check this out. Sketchy Ceviche says, it was a perfect dog sound effect.
Yep.
That was
Bo
awesome.
Was on point. Yeah, he's
I
on
love
point.
it.
He heard something.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool. It was like the perfect, stereotypical dog sound effect. I loved it. Sketchy Ceviche says, yeah, games should be more about the vibe, lit history, and chatty stuff for the movies. Yeah, I think Castlevania did a good job of that. It really had that, perfect horror vibe without getting too sticky into the story.
Yeah, I would agree.
What is a man?
You don't get that at any point during the show.
That's too bad.
That was sad.
It's a storytelling misstep.
Sorry, Jess, spoilers.
Oh no. Tragic.
Miserable pile of secrets. All right, Jess, take us away from this discussion.
So I am starting with a bit of a wild card. It's the one that I literally a couple days ago finished season 2 of. And it was so much better than I feel like it had any right to be. And that is the Twisted Metal TV show.
Really?
It was so much fun. I didn't even know it existed.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about it through word of mouth.
Heard about it from you.
And it's on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Random. It's starring Anthony Mackie and Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Their chemistry is amazing. The cast, the guest stars, all amazing. Season 1 is kind of interesting because it's very much world building and setting up, and then you get into season 2, and then you get into the actual Twisted Metal, Calypso, all of it. And so I had a lot of fun with season 2 specifically, but it just was so much better than I feel like a TV show adaptation of Twisted Metal had any right to be.
Really?
I had a great time with it.
That's awesome. I have been wanting to see it since it came out. I do not have Peacock, or at least I don't have a subscription to Peacock, so I have not watched it. But yeah, I heard, who is it? Samoa Joe plays the physical manifestation of Sweet Tooth, and Will Arnett does the voice. And I was like, all right, you kind of got me here.
He's amazing. Highlight, I think, for me of the entire show. Also, for any Kansas people, you will have a fun little time in that the first season, the halfway point, the goal is to get to Topeka, Kansas.
As everyone's life goal should be.
That's awesome.
Sure. But it was wild to hear Anthony Mackie talking about how badly he needs to get to Topeka, Kansas.
That is pretty crazy.
I flinched every time somebody said the word.
So
I would suggest it.
So I just really quick, I have to mention this. In Topeka, randomly, I was on Instagram, and I love South Park, obviously. Trey Parker was in Topeka this week. Oh yeah, just
I saw that.
Hanging out in Topeka. He also went to Wichita to the first Pizza Hut, and they went to Lawrence and hung around KU and got some KU shirts. Apparently, his wife has some family or some ancestors or something from the area. But that's not something you see every day. The billionaire.
No.
Trudging through. Anyway, I was shocked. It's TV. I could have, it's the reverse though. Jack, cyberpunk it up.
Yeah, so another Netflix animated show, Cyberpunk 2077. Can't remember what I need to look it up, but there is a subtitle for it. Edge Runners. That's the name of it. Edge Runners. Edge Runners is awesome. It's a really cool anime. Again, just nice episodes. Ties into the cyberpunk theme and setting so well. I don't want to give away a whole bunch. Because it is something you just kind of have to go into, but if you're a fan of any of the Matrix shorts that they did, you should go check this thing out. It is pretty amazing.
Cool. Jess, have you seen this one?
I have not. I was trying to get through a bunch of the Netflix animated ones because they tend to be really good, but that was not one that I have gotten to yet.
Yeah, you should check out Edge Runners. It's pretty memorable.
I have not seen this one yet either, but any recommendation from Jack is a good one.
Yeah.
Ever since you recommended The Fall of Reach and it was good,
yeah,
I've taken all your recommendations.
Yeah, I hope this keeps up.
I'm sure it will. It never failed so far. All right, Jess, your next one, please.
Well, keeping on the Netflix animated train, I will go ahead and talk about the Lara Croft Netflix animated show, which I had a great time watching as well. It's Haley Atwell voices Lara Croft, Peggy Carter from the MCU, and it just was a really fun, just Lara Croft being a badass show. Season, it's just one season at this point. I'm hoping that we get more, but I love her so much, and she was such a integral part of falling in love with video games for me, because it was the one female character, and it's oh, we get a female Indiana Jones, which I wanted to be an archaeologist as a kid, and this was perfect and everything I wanted. So I thought the show was great. I had a lot of fun with it. It's kind of funny to watch because you can tell that they want to talk about the fact that looting and stealing artifacts is bad, but they don't really want to talk about it. And so you just get little hints of her being yeah, maybe it's not great that I own all of this stuff, but it's fine. So I found that funny. But overall, I would say it's a great show, and I would highly recommend it if you're a fan of the games.
That's awesome. I haven't seen it yet. So of the ones that you have seen, how would you rank your either live action or animated Lara Crofts? For actresses, sorry.
So I've only really seen this one and the Angelina Jolie. I did not watch the newer, it was Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider ones, which I know I need to because I know that they're better. I would say that if you want a good story, I would go with the Netflix animated ones. The rest of the characters are also phenomenal. The entire cast I fell in love with. It was great. But it's hard for me to shake Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft. It just is so iconic and was so pivotal.
She looked, it's the perfect look for Lara
the
Croft.
Movies are what they are, and they're on my list later on if we want to talk about them, but she was amazing.
I just remember Penny Arcade for the second Lara Croft movie that when I think Gabe, one of them went to hell, and that was the punishment, was having to watch the second Tomb Raider movie over and over again. I've never seen it. I don't know how bad it is, but
it's not great. I wouldn't say it's MST 3000 bad, but it's not great.
The first one I don't remember being horrific. I don't remember it being good, but I don't remember it being unwatchable or anything.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a popcorn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, those Tomb Raider games, I was always terrible at them. But I always thought Lara Croft was a badass. I just was not able to do that for her.
Yeah, I never got into the original ones, but the reboot series that they started back in 2013, I think.
Those are good.
Those three games are phenomenal. I love those three games. Those are great.
Yeah, very much like an amusement park ride, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right, Jack, this is a good one too.
Yes, I'm gonna stick with Netflix. Man, they've got a lot of these. I'm not gonna lie. So also on Netflix, The Witcher. I don't know what to think about Liam Hemsworth as Geralt, but I will say that Henry Cavill as Geralt is awesome. I think he understands what the role is and plays it about as well as somebody could, for somebody that's super gruff, jaded, and just is sick of everybody's shit everywhere he goes. It's a fun series. It veers a little away from some of the the games and the books, but it stays true to, I think, the themes of it all, and it has a good side. Like the other cast, Siri, Dandelion, the entire cast is awesome. If you like the Witcher series at all, or if you just like fantasy action shows, or if you like Henry Cavill, like I know my wife loved watching The Witcher, like you should go check out The Witcher on Netflix. It's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The game's great. I haven't seen the series yet, but the game's great, so I probably would like it.
The show, I would say... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to The Witcher 4 when that comes out, but yes.
No, I thought the show was great. I have not attempted the Liam Hemsworth of it all. I don't think I probably will. It's just a little too harsh of a turn. Yeah. But I think as long as you're the kind of person that can be like, the games are the games and the books are the books and the show is the show and they're different things. Mm-hmm. Like if you're wanting it to be exact, then you're going to be disappointed.
You'll be disappointed.
But I think as its own thing, I really enjoyed it. And it was really cool to see Henry Cavill so like unapologetically like in love with the series, and like such a nerd about video games, because really cool. There's been such a thing for so long of people being like in the industry, the movie industry, being like looking down on video games as like a lesser thing. And so it was really cool to see somebody that was like, no, these games are amazing, I love them, and I'm so glad to be able to do this. And so I thought that was really, really cool.
It is really cool. I had a point and it left me. Hopefully it comes back later. It happens to me.
Just boomerang it.
Boomerang. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to Jess's next one, and then maybe I'll think of it later. It must have not been. Oh, I should go through the comments though really quick. We have a lot of them tonight. So Maximus Prime says, loved Edge Runners. It helped revive Cyberpunk 2077 for me. 8-Bit Mouse Player also said, yes, Edge Runners. Excellent. Maximus Prime just finished Tomb Raider on Netflix. I have fun with it. The first Tomb Raider had Daniel Craig in it. I did not remember that. 8-Bit Mouse Player said, original Tomb Raider has such a vibe. Tested my old copy the other day. The loading music struck a serious nostalgia chord. Me too. And like also nostalgic frustration. I need to try those games again. I don't know what my deal was with those.
It was the movement.
It was awkward movement.
Really awkward.
I always felt like she was like this, and like if you just moved wrong, she'd like fall off the cliff.
It was like trying to do Prince of Persia in 3D when you didn't have like
yeah. But, and she was like she should have been able to been. I mean, like you have Mario, who's like this fat plumber, and he can do like Olympic level gymnastics, and then Lara Croft is like a stiff zombie, like walking through the. But still love it. All right, now Jess, proceed.
I guess I will go ahead and hop into my last Netflix one, which is the Dragon Age Absolution show, which I really enjoyed. I thought the characters were a lot of fun. It was in between, right? We knew that the new Dragon Age game was coming, but it hadn't come out yet. And it was very much kind of being treated like the ramp up to the release of the new game. And then everything that happened in the show ended up being pretty much like not canon for the most part, which was whatever. It's fine. The game, it was an interesting road to even get to Veilguard. So again, whatever. The show was fun. If you are a nerd on like Dragon Age lore, like I am, it's maybe a little bit frustrating, just because they do a lot of really cool things, and I would have liked to have seen like some of their choices played out in the games that we didn't get. But it was fun. It was set in like Tevinter, and so you get a little bit more of an insight into that before we got to go there in Veilguard. So overall, I would say it's a fun time, but just know that like it kind of doesn't matter for the games for the most part.
You know,
it's its own thing.
I was bummed, like no one knows Dragon Age in the video game class this semester. and I was kind of bummed about
No
that.
one?
Like maybe one or two out of the whole class, and that's the first time it's been like that. Because remember, in your class, there were several people that like Dragon Age.
Honestly, I was thinking about that the other day. I don't think Christina and I would be friends if I had not mentioned Dragon Age the first day of class.
Well,
we didn't know each other before
I'm
that.
Glad that she was actually the one that brought it up because we're playing D&D right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought it up, Dragon Age, and she was like, "No one knows Dragon Age."
Wow,
that's horrifying. I'll have to text her about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She's doing an awesome job, by the way, as always.
Of course.
It's a horse racing D&D story this time.
Oh, that's so much fun.
It is.
That's awesome.
All right, Jack, this is one I grew up watching.
Yeah, so this is one I'm going to show my age here. Captain N, the Game Master. So for those of you that are around our age, Captain N
25.
was like a Saturday morning cartoon show where basically Captain N got sucked into his Nintendo cartridge, if I remember correctly, and essentially made friends with, Simon Belmont, Kid Icarus, Mega Man. Who else was in there? Princess Zelda.
There was some occasional Kid Icarus. Did you say Pit?
Yep. Kid Icarus. Pit is in there. And he always had to say Icus after everything.
Yeah.
And for some reason that
just like
is stuck in my brain to this day. And they would fight the likes of Dracula, Mother Brain, King Hippo, and the Eggplant Wizard, the famous Eggplant Wizard from Kid Icarus. It's certainly a thing. And, back in the day, it was fine. It was a fun cartoon show for me, but looking back on it now, it's not great, but it was fine for the time.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was just cool to see anything games on TV. Being obsessed with games as we were back in that period, you didn't see games a whole lot outside of games, and so just like seeing them exist was pretty amazing. And sure, it's not the best animated series of all time, but it's fun. I mean, I wanted to be Kevin. I wanted to jump into the Nintendo. Like, that'd have been awesome.
You had that. You had the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and
Super Mario 3 too.
Yeah, Super Mario 3, and you got Super Mario World and the Pac-Man Adventures show at one point. And then you had Sonic the Hedgehog, and that was kind of it for a while.
Yeah, but man, I would get up to watch that show.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
I would not miss it. Oh, yeah, he had a Game Boy that he rid on, and it was sentient. That was weird.
And Mega Man, didn't he sound like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And I was like,
I feel like I need to look this up.
You should.
Hokey,
there's even
fun.
a Mega Man. Isn't there a Mega Man show too that had 2 or 3 episodes, and Mega Man sounds like he smoked 20 packs a day?
There's a Mega Man cartoon that has 2 seasons, and that's
the one. Yes, that's
super super corny and cheesy. It's coming out on Blu-ray in the next year. Because that was one everyone was. I've always loved Mega Man, and people were talking about it, oh, there's this Mega Man cartoon. It's oh man, I gotta see it, and it never played in my town, and so I ordered a VHS, and I was like, when I got it, it's Proto Man's evil in it, and all the robots have muscles, which makes no sense, and there's a lot of things about it that don't make sense. But I might get the Blu-ray just because I kind of am morbidly curious about how the rest of the episodes shaped out. And you'd always go, "I've got your power."
Yep.
Super corny and hokey.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
Some might say. All right, Jess.
So pivoting out of animated and into live action, we can't talk about TV adaptations without talking about the big one recently, which is The Last of Us. I just finished a couple days ago season 2, which was not as bad as the internet had led me to believe. I will say that much. Not as good as season 1, but not horrific. I really loved it. And I had waited a long time to actually sit down and watch the show because I loved the game so much that I was just like, I can't. Even after season 1 got like great reviews, I was like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't trust it. Mm-hmm. But it's very clear that the people that made the show love the games, and to me that just really came through, in especially season 1, of how much care was put into it. And I've got like a couple critiques. Season 1 specifically, I thought it was interesting how little we actually dealt with like any of the infected, especially when you get to like the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. Which I'm like kind of makes the whole she's the cure kind of thing feel a little less urgent. Because I'm like, well, when's the last time the infected were a threat to us?
Yeah.
That was like my one thing with season 1, but otherwise I thought they did a really good job. And I thought, I don't know, I was invested in season 2. I wasn't mad about it by any stretch of the imagination.
I think it's a lot of people who either hadn't played the game or didn't know, didn't see what was coming. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, like
that was, I laughed really hard when it happened, just because I was like, I watched this happen once when the game came out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now a whole new group of people. My dad watched it before I did. And I was just like, let me know how you feel at the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
He was not happy. But even while I was watching it, I found myself, I was like curled up. Mm-hmm. I was like, I know what's coming. And I'm like, I don't want to see this. And it was still like, I was like, I'll be fine. I know what's coming. And I'm like, no, that still hurt me deeply to have to watch. So kudos to them for that. And I thought Abby, I know Caitlin Deaver got a lot of shit, and she should not have. She did great.
Yeah, she did
a great job as Abby. So I really don't have any complaints. Like, the game's always going to be there, and I'll always love the game more. But I'm like, it's fine. I'm not mad at it.
Yep. I'm excited for season 3.
I love the game. I couldn't get into the show because I don't know. I'd already played the game, and I don't know. Maybe I should give it another shot. It was definitely good. I just had like, The Last of Us has been re-released like 3,000 times, and I've played it a few of those times. And so
it feels like it for sure.
It's kind of like it's the last of The Last of Us for me.
That's fair.
But I love it. I think it's great. The games are great.
I never get tired of the story, but I can totally see how people, especially if people that have played the games multiple times, would feel that way. I think that makes complete sense.
But I do recognize that it's a good series. It's well made. I think it's just fatigue for me.
Which is fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
And we're out of Jack's. Jess, did you want to do another one before we move on to movies?
So I can take one of Jess's.
There was okay. There was one I was hoping you. Can I do Pokemon?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Pokemon, as I've mentioned, so when that cartoon came on, it was right after. It wasn't too long after the first couple games came out, Red and Blue, and I remember those games came out. There were penny arcades about it. Everyone seemed like they were playing Pokemon, and I got Pokemon Blue, I think, and a friend of mine got Red, and I started playing it, and I just have never been able to like really enjoy those games. And I've always wanted to, and I've tried multiple iterations of it, but I have memories of that TV series because I was kind of hoping maybe if I watched the TV series that it would get me into the games, and so I watched a few episodes of it, but I was kind of embarrassed that I was watching it at however old I was, and one of my really good friends, the one I mentioned last that we were going through Final Fantasy VII and Tactics together. I don't know how it came up, but one of us accidentally mentioned something that happened on the show, and we both realized that we were both secretly watching Pokemon, and we would do that. We would do that randomly. So I have a lot of, even though the show is what it is, that theme song, as hokey as it is, I just think is great. Like, you want to be the very best. Like,
it's great. It's right up there. I have secretly, not so secretly, wanted to see like the entire run just so I can say I've seen it all, because I just feel like at some point there's this dark turn that every anime takes. Like I've watched Neon Genesis Evangelion once, and I feel like every anime now has to have some dark turn at the last episode. I'm like, man, what are they gonna do with Pokemon? Like, is Ash's mom is Pikachu like the soul of his dead mom or something like that? And I know his mom's not dead, but like, you get the point. It's
might be though. Yeah, none of the dads are around anywhere.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, except for Professor Oak, which that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that watched it.
Yep. It's I was
found one of my
like
tapes.
You, I was a little old when it came out, but I was just like, it is about a video game. I should probably watch this. That Pikachu's kind of cute. Like I would have one as a pet.
I remember I had to set my VCR to record it because I had to do something whenever it was on, and I'd come home and make sure no one else was around and put the VHS in and watch it. But some of the voice acting and some of that stuff is pretty classic. Like that Jigglypuff song and some of the stuff that transferred into the games, like Smash Brothers and all that, is pretty cool. I'm jealous of anyone that's been able to really get into Pokemon, because I love the idea of it, and I love the Pokemon themselves, and I love the art, and I like the idea of like collecting them and evolving them and fighting them. There's a fault in me, and I just can't get into it.
See, and I was obsessed. Like, it was probably my first true obsession at like, I don't know, I was probably like 5 when I got into it. I watched the shows, I played the games, I had action figures and plushies, and I had a binder like that thick of Pokemon cards, and we would play Pokemon at recess. Me and there was one other girl, and we were both obsessed with video games, and we were the weirdos that nobody wanted to hang out with because we were like running around the recess just yelling Pika!
I love that.
Like insane people. So it was the first thing. I don't know if I would have gotten into video games in the way that I did if I had not fallen down the Pokemon rabbit hole, because it was the first thing that was like, oh, this is like my personality now. And it was for years. I think my parents probably still have PTSD from that opening song with how much I forced people to listen to it.
Very best.
And still to this day, I get so excited every time I hear it. I'm like, it's such a millennial core thing about me. I'm like, Pokemon is
There's some really good remixes out there of it too.
Wow.
Not that I know about those, but they exist. But no, I love hearing you running around recess playing video, because we used to do that too. It was like Zelda usually for us back in those days, or Castlevania. Back in the preschool to high school down till fourth grade days.
Yep.
So, all right, let's move on to movies. We've got Jack's gonna list the original here in a second, but when I was thinking of movie adaptations, as I was feverishly trying to figure out why Microsoft was attacking me, not really, computer glitch. Mortal Kombat Reboot was the first one that came to my mind, the one that came out in 2021. I honestly didn't have high hopes for it. I hadn't really been following it though, and I saw the trailer though, and the trailer was intriguing. And then I ended up watching it with BreakmanX, and we both really liked it, way more than we thought we would. It's a lot of fun, and they do a really good job of bringing the Mortal Kombat lore into it, and that whole get over here at the end, it's just so well done, and makes you and we showed it to BreakboyX, even though he probably was a little too young to watch it, but and then my mother-in-law came, and she wanted to show her that, and she loved it too. It's like a universal family bonding movie.
Wow.
But I'm excited for the sequel. It's so much fun. And like Jack was mentioning a week or two ago, they have the perfect actor for Johnny Cage. So, and as Jack was saying last week too, you know, I've loved Mortal Kombat forever.
Yeah, the reboot did a really great job of reintroducing everybody, giving everybody kind of like an everyman to kind of be like, oh my god, what's going on here? Like just fish out of water type thing. And so it worked really well. Story was great. Fights were fun. The choreography is great on the fight scenes.
That Sub-Zero was just...
Yeah, no, they do a fantastic job really setting up Sub-Zero and Scorpion as kind of
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I cannot wait for the second movie. Yeah, I think it's just going to be... I think they know exactly what they got on their hands, and I'm really hoping that they kind of knock this one out of the park.
There's just so many ways for that to go south, especially now. With all the games that have come out and everything, there's so many different directions, and I really feel like they chose a really like I mean I don't know what they could have done to make it better. Like it's the perfect mix of game reality and like Jess was saying earlier, like I'm not one of those that things have to be exactly like the game, the comic book, the whatever. When they translate, like that always used to drive me nuts. Like I remember this guy in my high school when a comic book movie would come out, and he's like, "Well, in the comic book, it actually happened like this, and so I won't go see the movie." I'm like, dude, like you could enjoy the movie and just, you know, or Lord of the Rings, was it Tom Bombadil or whatever is not into it? I remember someone getting really upset about that. It's just like enjoy the different things, the different mediums.
Absolutely.
Off my soapbox. But. All right. I really like that you picked this one, Jack.
Yeah.
Because I have not seen this movie forever.
Yeah. This one, it's kind of, I might be cheating a little bit here. So the movie is Cloak and Dagger from 1984. So for those of you that don't remember it, Cloak and Dagger is a Dabney Coleman movie. And it also has the kid from E.T., the kid that plays Elliot, Henry... I forget his name, but it basically has that kid in it too. And essentially Thomas. Yeah, Henry Thomas. And he has a Atari 5200 game called Cloak and Dagger, and like Dabney Coleman and him get involved in some weird spy stuff going on, and like it's an interesting movie. It's funny. It's kind of heartfelt. It doesn't really have a whole bunch to do with video games other than the fact that Atari was making a game at the time called Agent X. They saw this movie was coming out, and so they changed the name, and then it was Cloak and Dagger. And yeah, like I said, I think I'm cheating a little bit here, but Cloak and Dagger is a fun little movie, and I like to think that it is based on a video game because, you know, it just is part of, like, the game they have in the movie is the game that Atari put out. So, you know, it's kind of right on that line.
It's cool. I'll accept it. And it's a fun movie that I haven't seen in like forever. I wanted to hit the chat here really quick because I haven't hit it for a little bit before we go on to Jess. But let's see. I'll catch up here with Johnny Graphic says that survival mode in The Last of Us 2 really adds a bunch of replay value. Maximus Prime said Pokemon was like most of those kid anime shows around the time, I believe, an advertisement with a story. Not a bad stories for kids, though. He also said, you know me, Break, I love Mortal Kombat. I really like the MK reboot movie. I remember the shirts, Maximus. 8-Bit Moss play us the Street Fighter 2, Van Damme and Raul Julia. Crazy stuff. I was so disappointed by that movie.
But dude, it's so good. I have got it on my list. It's so really good. It is.
Maybe I'll watch it again.
So dumb. So dumb.
I was really sick when I watched that movie. Like I was home from school with, you know, and sometimes when you watch things when you're really sick, like nothing's gonna make it good. But I love Street Fighter. I freaking love that game.
I'll talk about it some more in a little bit.
Okay, we'll get to it. And then 8-Bit Mustang said, thanks God Bombadil wasn't in it. Or the movie would have been 8 hours long.
Yeah.
Yes, it would have. I think those movies are very well made. But anyway, let's move on to Jess, who's taking us back to the Pokemon land.
Yes. So the first like Pokemon movie where it's Mew versus Mewtwo. You know, I think I've talked on here a couple times about how my dad specifically let me watch like horror movies and everything, and people are always like, well, didn't that like mess you up as a child? And I'm like, nowhere near as much as cartoons made for children emotionally devastated me as a child. There is the iconic scene in that movie in which there have been like doubles made of all of the Pokemon and they're like fighting each other to the death. And Ash is finally like, I can't take this anymore. And he dives in between Mew and Mewtwo. And he like falls to the ground and like turns to stone. And like you just hear Pikachu like scream and run after him. And he like is desperately trying to like electroshock Ash back to life.
Oh my god.
And it doesn't work. And like he like has used up all of his energy. And then he just starts crying. Pikachu starts crying. Mm-hmm. And then all of the other Pokemon gathered around also starts crying. And then the crying brings Ash back to life. And it was traumatizing. Mm-hmm. Like I was in tears sobbing. Because again, I was probably like 5-6 years old when I watched it.
That's pretty intense.
And I'm just like, well, they killed Ash. And like Pikachu was over here like just like screaming and crying and like desperately trying to bring him back to life. And it doesn't work. And I'm like, what? What are we putting in kids' movies? Why are we doing this?
Yep.
So.
Time-honored tradition going back to the 70s.
Yeah. Yes. Ugh.
Dark Crystal.
Yep.
Like I rewatched it like in prep for this, and I was like, "Oh my god, this still hurts." Like I still like what were we doing here, people?
It's surprising to go back and watch some of the kid movies and the stuff that they have in there, stuff that I didn't pick up on when I first watched them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I actually haven't seen that one. Maybe I'll have to pick that one up. No one here is into Pokemon. I'm hoping that someone does, because I want to enjoy it vicariously.
I mean,
I can't tell you if the rest of the movie was good. That is just the one scene that's like burned into my brain. I have not watched it in its entirety in years, and it's probably not very good.
They did make a lot of Pokemon movies. I know my kids have seen most of them.
There was also the one with Entei that also had this like messed up. There's like this little girl. I don't remember the details, but like that was also traumatizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they almost got Studio Ghibli money to go make a Pokemon movie, like a Pokemon episode, and they were just like, hey, check out this cool stuff. Oh, yeah, let's forget about it. You just want to see the new Legendary, don't you? Here it is.
Much.
Yeah.
All right, back to recent movies for me. The Super Mario Brothers movie of 2023 was really, really good. And it was obviously I've been playing Super Mario Brothers since the original came out. I've talked about it at length. But again, there was so many ways that this could go south, and I just wasn't completely sure what Nintendo was going to do with it. This also, Mario had some good 3D outings, but there were some pretty mediocre 2D outings, and like, which direction were they going to go with it story-wise? And then like Chris Pratt as Mario, I was really like, what? And then it came out and it was awesome. Like it was really good. Yeah. Really, really good. Really fun. We went and saw it as a family, and then like the cheap theater in town had it, and I took the kids to it a ton of times. Like they loved it, and I'm of course happy to do anything video game related. So I went, but it had some fun humor to it that actually worked. It makes me excited for the Legend of Zelda movie we're gonna get relatively soon, and to see what Nintendo's cooking up there.
Don't forget the new Super Mario Galaxy movie too.
Super Mario Galaxy movie. I did watch the trailer. It looks really good.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm alongside you. I was very cautious going into the movie because of the voice cast, and because I was like, another Chris Pratt thing. Okay, here we go. And then honestly, by the end of it, I was like, all right, yeah, this is pretty good. This is way better than I expected. Way to go, Nintendo. Way to go, Universal / Comcast.
It's a conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Maximus Prime said, just unlocked my core sadness memory, like the episode Ash release Butterfree. Starts to sob. And Apis-Bit Moss Playa says, I would like to thank Jess for being so vulnerable with the Pokemon movie recounting. That was awesome. And I agree. That was awesome. Yeah. And I'm going to add one to mine that someone mentioned because they're really good. All right, Jack.
Yeah. So my next one is a very, very loose interpretation of a game, but it's named after the game and built on the game nonetheless. Tetris. So this actually came out on Apple TV back in 2023. It's got Taron Egerton in it. If nobody has seen the Tetris movie, it is more of kind of like a fictionalized documentary about how Tetris came to be on the Nintendo and the Game Boy than anything else. Taron Egerton is essentially a video game developer that is what is he? He's Scandinavian, but he grew up in New York and he lives in Japan with his family, and he works for a video game company. He goes to CES one year and he finds somebody playing Tetris on their computer and he can't stop thinking about it. And so he goes to Nintendo. Basically, it's the story of how he gets Nintendo on the Game Boy and all the crazy, fictionalized account of how he has to go to Russia with Nintendo executives, including Howard Lincoln, who is played very well by a character actor that I can't think of his name. I'll have to look it up, but
I'll look it up for you.
It's really good. He gets to meet, he meets Alexei Pajitnov, the creator of Tetris. He becomes friends with them, and it's so crazy. You see the corrupt KGB. Yes, thank you. Right. It is very, very cool. It's not even 2 hours long, but it's a very tense, very fun movie. It's about the coolest thing you could do with Tetris without going to some like Michael Bay level of like, oh my God, Tetris blocks are falling from the sky level of insanity. I think it's a really great movie. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times just because it is a lot of fun to watch. And it's like I said, it's fairly intense, and it really surprised me. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by what I thought of it. At the end,
I'm right there with you. I also saw that movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I remember when Tetris got optioned. It got optioned like a long time ago too. I think we talked about it on the original show. And we were all like joking about how they were going to do it, and they did it really well. Like, it's a really, like you said, fun movie. It has that kind of legit 80s spy movie vibe that they kind of brought back, which was pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Legit Iron Curtain feel.
Yeah. That was a time period, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Will never return. And Jess, what's your next one?
So we talked a little bit already about, Lara Croft having deeply influenced me, but there is another leading lady in a video game movie that also was pivotal for me growing up, and that is, of course, the 2000s Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich as
She is
Alice.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She is so awesome. Now, are they good adaptations of the video games? No, not really. Are they even really particularly great movies? Do I love them with all of my heart? Absolutely, yes. They are like a big comfort watch of like, I just want to have a good time. And they came out at an interesting time where we really weren't taking, video game movies seriously at all. And they did this thing of like taking the world and taking something that people cared about, but like not caring too much about it and managing to make something that kind of stood on its own.
Yeah.
And I think it's not necessarily the process I want from a video game movie nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the time, it's what allowed it to work so well and what allowed it to become what it is and kind of like pave the way for more of them to be successful. Yep. Not that it was like the first by any means, but like it was a big deal when that movie came out, and like critics didn't necessarily like it, but people did, and people were talking about video games, at least for me, in a way that like I hadn't heard people necessarily talking about them on like a mass scale. So they hold a very special place in my heart, and I think they did a lot for like video game adaptations in general. So they're pretty high up on my list.
Yeah, no,
I would agree with that.
I was super excited for those to come out, and I saw those in the theater with BreakmanX, and we both love it. In fact, when I saw this on your list, I showed it to her, and we're like, okay, we got to watch this. We're gonna watch those again. But that was so much fun in the theater, and again, that was back in the time where you really didn't see video games too much outside of video games. and having loved Resident Evil, having it in game form, even though and Mia Jovovich is awesome. Like I've always loved Fifth Element, and her. Jess, have you heard the song she did with Maynard, Pussifer song?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Or Jack. It's really good too. So she can sing too. She can do it all.
I will say just one thing. Like I love the Resident Evil movies, or at least the first 3 Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich. But I will say, if you ever get a chance, go on the internet and search for George Romero's Resident Evil script, because that one's, I think that would have really been something if it actually gotten made. But here we are.
Uwe Boll.
No. It would have been George Romero. Like that would have been. I think that would have been something different for sure.
No, George Romero would have done great. Yeah. I just Uwe Boll. Remember how he wanted to make like every video game movie back then, and he was really bad at everything he did.
Man, nobody put House of the Dead on this list, and I'm very disappointed.
It's still time, maybe, probably not. All right, so the Sonic movies are awesome. I think actually better than the Super Mario movie. And I like the Mario games better than the Sonic games, although I do like both a lot. But I thought the Sonic movie, again, I thought was one that was really in trouble, the first one. They had that weird hedgehog nightmarish design at first, and then they wisely changed it to what it became. But those movies, I think, again, are perfectly executed in that world. And you have, you go back to like something like Resident Evil, which I love, but you had that whole period where all movies, when they took a property, they drastically changed it to be its own thing, which can be fine. But I really like that movies now, like the Sonic movies and the Mario movies, are really taking their source material. And again, you don't have to do this. It doesn't have to be perfect. But like the Sonic movies, like Dr. Robotnik is like Dr. Robotnik, like Sonic is Sonic, Tails is Tails, Knuckles is Knuckles. And they're really,
but don't watch the Knuckles show though. It's not great.
I've heard that. I didn't watch the Knuckles show, but I thought the third Sonic movie was the best. And I liked them all, but hearing Live and Learn at the end, I literally almost had an aneurysm. Like I was sitting there and it popped up. It was like, oh my God. And, our eldest daughter looked at me and was like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you so excited about this song? And then of course we had to blare it on the way home. And
I had the exact same reaction when I was in the theater with my kids. I started just cackling maniacally when that came on. And my son is just looking at me like, he and my daughter just like burning a hole through me just from staring. I was just like, you don't understand. I'm sorry.
Understand.
Yeah.
How cool that song was back in the day, and they incorporated it. But if you haven't seen the Sonic movies, like, what are you doing? They're good.
Yeah, you should go see them.
Yeah, they're definitely worth a watch. All right, Jack.
Yes, so I'm going to go back a little further too, and I'm going to go with the original Mortal Kombat movie from 1995. So at the height of Mortal Kombat's popularity, or at least what I thought was the height of Mortal Kombat's popularity back in 95, Mortal Kombat 2 was out. 3 was just about to come out in the arcades. Mortal Kombat was getting a movie, and it had the blessing of Ed Boon and John Tobias, and I was just like,
noob cyber.
All right, this thing's gonna be great. And it was fine. It was good. Like it was better than I actually thought. Like people died. You had I don't want to butcher his name, but you had the actor that played Shang Tsung. I don't want to mispronounce his name.
So is mine.
Yes, he is Shang Tsung to this day. For Mortal Kombat 1, I was really surprised they didn't get him because the sound alike they got was like perfect. But yeah, he's awesome. The rest of the cast is pretty great. Christopher Lambert as Raiden is just, I don't know, just funny as all get out.
And Terry Horiyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung.
Yeah. And He is great. And then they went and pissed it all away on the sequel. But that
so
first
bad.
Mortal Kombat movie is really something. And the rubber Goro will forever be cemented in my mind as real Goro. Like when I see it in MK1, when I was playing on the Legacy Collection, I was like, that's not, oh yeah, that is actually the original Goro. Yeah, well.
Yeah, no, that movie was a lot of fun. I remember watching, they had like a clip of Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting on some TV show as a preview, and I taped it and I watched that thing over and over again because I thought it was so cool that was on TV. And I wasn't allowed to see it in the theater, but I did rent it at some point somehow later, and I enjoyed it. I was a good age, I think, for it. It's not. I thought Christopher Lambert. I mean, come on, the Highlander as Raiden, like that was a pretty cool choice. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. And then I remember, I remember the Armageddon, the sequel, renting that one and being excited for it and putting it in. And I remember I watched like the first 10 minutes of it and I just turned it off. Because I was like, this is not good. And Spielberg was supposed to have a cameo in the first one because he loved Mortal Kombat, but he ended up being someone else. But yeah, the first one I love. And Maximus Prime says, love the OG MK movie. Those are $500 sunglasses. That was good.
Yeah.
And Johnny Graphics said, oh yeah, the Sonic movies are awesome. 3 in particular. I'm with y'all on that 100%.
Yeah, and I will say Maximus is right. The entire reason that Kano since like Mortal Kombat 3 has been Australian is because they liked the accent so much in the movie from the actor that they were just like, yeah, let's keep that. That works pretty well. Let's keep him Australian.
I freaking love the announcer in those games. Anytime you say any of the names of the characters, I mean, Kano,
what's did you know that? So the first game. So again, been watching all the documentary stuff.
Oh, enlighten us! I love this kind of stuff.
No, this is great. So like, I finished watching the final documentary stuff last night. I made it through all of it. So in the first game, just because they didn't have any money or time to do everything, Ed Boon is the announcer in the first game. So he is Shang Tsung. He's the announcer. In every single Mortal Kombat since then, it has been Steve Ritchie, the Black Knight himself. If you're a Black Knight 2000 fan or Black Knight pinball fan, Steve Ritchie is probably the greatest voice in video games going back forever. But yeah, it is. Steve Ritchie is, the voice of Mortal Kombat.
I love it. It's so good. And that music, it's all good.
Yes. Yep.
It's the perfect amount of hokiness, which I love. Schlockiness, but also like fun. And there's just enough like the stop motion stuff they did for those moves, or not stop motion, but like the digitized video that they put into the game, like some pretty cool stuff. And those are iconic moves. Like I caught a little bit of the documentary, and watching those people do that, like all that stuff became iconic.
Yeah. Yep.
And like tripping people 100 times in a row and they couldn't move.
Yeah. And sorry to go off on a tangent, but like the last part of the documentary is about basically going from the digitized graphics to 3D when they did MK4. And like, they're like, we've got all this, like our budget kept getting bigger and bigger and our soundstage got bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden we had to not throw it all away, but we had to shift and go to mocap. And it was like, what do we do? And like, what's his name? Man, I'm bad with names today. But one of their designers, one of their graphic artists, ended up being the mocap guy for every single character in the fourth game. Oh boy, I can't think of it. I apologize. I'm sorely. Boy, why can't I think of it? It's not Ed Boon. It's not John
Google
Tobias.
AI says
Ed John
Boon.
Vogel. No, it's John Vogel. John Vogel is the guy. But it's crazy. Like watching all of those documentaries over the last few days, or the documentary materials, like every single, just you look at the art for Mortal Kombat and you look at the art for just about every other Midway or Williams game between like 1987 and 1999 when John left to go do Studio Gigante and Tao Fang. Like it's all John Tobias. Like he did like all the artwork for every single game, including Mortal Kombat. Like he did the comic book, he did all of it.
That's
like,
really cool.
Dude was talented, still talented, but like, yeah, he's pretty awesome.
8-Bit Moss Playa asked who did the Toasty voice, and that would be none other than Dan Forden.
Yes.
Toasty!
And he also features very prominently in the documentary too, which is awesome.
Is he Toasty?
He does say it quite a bit, yes. He also enjoys playing the Johnny Cage nut punch sound effect a lot.
That was the thing.
Yep.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, Jess.
Anyway,
I think, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So shifting into just a bad movie that haunts my nightmares still to this day is the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And every single decision made going into making that movie baffles me on a deep spiritual level. And the image of what they made Goombas into, like, truly sometimes just like pops up and like scares me in my nightmares. Like I don't understand the thought process that went into making that movie into what that movie was.
Most of the crew didn't either. The crew actually wore T-shirts that said "I hate," and then it had the names of the directors on it. And the director threw like really hot coffee on one of the crew members. Like it was not a pleasant set to be on. Like the set environment was probably as bad as the movie.
I remember reading that like the main actors were like pretty much drunk on set every day to just like try to get through shooting, and I'm like, this is every bad decision that could have been made was made.
I will say, like I think the casting of Bob Hoskins and Jonathan Leguizamo is not bad. Dennis Hopper's way out there, but like the rest
none
of
it was any of the actors' faults.
Yeah,
well, they did not do anything wrong.
Like I said, Dennis Hopper, but yeah, Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. I mean, Bob Hoskins is a professional. You say, "Hey, I'm going to pay you some money." He'll show up. He may be drunk, but he'll show up.
Maximus Prime says, "Jess, it's very generous of you to think they were actually thinking for that movie."
No kidding.
It's the kind of thing that's like, it's kind of fun to watch. It's been long enough now that I can watch it and just kind of like laugh at all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like the first time I ever watched it, because again, I was really young when we watched it. We're like, oh, it's a Super Mario Bros. Movie. No, it was not.
That movie made me sad.
It would have been a better movie if it had not been. Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me sad. I was so excited for like a Super Mario Brothers movie, and like and then like it just like got sadder and sadder as I kept hearing how bad it was from everybody, and then I like finally saw it, and it was like I just couldn't understand why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like why would they do this to Mario, and like why is anything in this movie happening the way it's happening?
Well, and I remember reading something, and I should have pulled up the article, and I didn't, and that's my bad. But something along the lines of like the director had said that like the goal was that the movie was going to be the true story of Mario, and then like the games were like a different like perverted version of like the actual story was. And I'm just like, who let this man speak?
I think I remember something like they did a bunch of rewrites like at the last minute too.
Yeah, I think they were like rewriting like minutes before they would shoot scenes sometimes. Like the day of, like they were getting new pages. I can't imagine.
I also don't think Nintendo got much oversight.
No, I don't.
I can't imagine they did.
Crazy to think Frank from Blue Velvet would find his way into a Mario movie.
No
Johnny
kidding.
Graphics. Oh man, that movie, that movie, that might be the most. I think that is the most disappointed and like sad. Like I was a kid, and it made me sad that they missed such an opportunity. And even then, I knew like this meant that it was gonna be really hard for other video game movies to come out.
That's the exact same thing I thought. Like walking out of that movie, I was like, well, they're never gonna make another video game movie ever again. Oh well.
I bet Miyamoto was pretty depressed too when he saw that.
Probably. I bet he walked out.
He probably did, and he took 2 decades before he tried again.
Yeah. Yep.
It was 20 years, wasn't it? Like
no, 93 to no, it would have been more like 25 years.
Yeah. Wait, 93 to 2023, so it's 30 years.
Yeah, but they probably figured it out. Like, they had to take time to actually do all the CG and stuff.
Right.
So.
Right. That's crazy. It took that long. Quarter of a century.
Man.
So this one's kind of cheating. But Jack cheated, so it's okay. But Wreck-It Ralph, while not there was kind of a game that came out after it, but it included a lot of video game characters in it, and I thought it did a pretty good job of capturing the idea of a video game world. Several years ago, one of my SC classmates, Richard Santiago, had me on his podcast to talk about that movie. And I actually wasn't going to see it until he was like, hey, you want to come on and talk about this movie? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. So I saw it because of that. And I'm glad I did, because it was actually the second one. And I saw the second one and liked it. And then I went back and watched the first one. And I actually think they're pretty good representations of video games. So they're fun. They're fun.
Yes.
It's probably my least favorite of the movies I've mentioned, just because I like the other ones a lot.
Wreck-It Ralph's a lot of fun. Like you said, it's not really like necessarily like a video game movie, but it has other video games in it. And like they do some really cool stuff. And I don't know if you've ever seen it out in the wild, Break, but they did make a Wreck-It Ralph arcade game that is actually pretty fun.
Oh, I didn't realize they made an arcade. I saw the DS game. I didn't know they made an arcade.
I'm sorry. It's not a Wreck-It Ralph game. It's a Fix-It Felix game. But Wreck-It Ralph is the bad guy.
That's cool. The game looks cool in the movie.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like if you find a cabinet in the wild, they look exactly like a Donkey Kong machine, except obviously you've got Felix and Wreck-It Ralph.
That's fun.
Yeah,
it is fun. Very cool. All right, Jack. Cool. Hit us with greatness.
Yes. So my next one is not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's one of my favorites because it's just so ridiculous. Street Fighter from 1993 or 1994, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one. It's amazing, and like Jean-Claude Van Damme is just guile. Like it's nothing memorable about him. The entire movie is really about Raul Julia as M. Bison.
Is that his last movie?
That was his last movie. And I'm sure he's aware of that at the time, but like you want to talk about an actor just hamming it up and just having the time of his life, being the big bad in a movie. Like Raul Julia doesn't know what Street Fighter is, doesn't know who M. Bison is. All he knows is he is this ridiculously powerful authoritarian, and he just wants to just let everybody know he's in charge and that he is the most powerful being on the planet. And it is one of the most ridiculous things ever. He has some amazing speeches in the movie, and just he's loving every minute of it. And just for his performance alone, like Ming-Na is great in it. There are other, Kylie Minogue's in it as Cammy. There are some good performances in it, but like it's really all about Raul Julia. Like you should just go watch it just for him. Like it's sad that it was his last movie, but like it is fantastic.
Well, I'm gonna watch it again, because when I saw that, I just did not like it at all. And I think I was expecting more camp. Well, it was pretty campy. I don't know what I was expecting.
It's super campy.
I really like the anime. Like the anime is really cool.
Yeah, the anime is good. But like, yeah, that conversation about the village, and it's so great. It is perfect.
Is that on streaming? Is that on some streaming service?
I don't know.
Aren't they making another Street Fighter movie?
I believe they are.
Yeah,
Yes,
set
they
for
are.
2026. They already have a cast. All right, is the 1994 on streaming?
You can purchase it. Yes,
Of course. Yeah, it's purchasable.
Oh,
Well,
Street Fighter on Netflix.
What? Oh, nope. Currently not available in my country.
Oh,
What's a VPN? All right. All right. Jess, your turn.
Well, since the two of you have bent the rules, I'm going to bend the rules and actually go back to TV for this one, because I have like two more movies, but I don't necessarily have great things to say about either of them. So I would rather backtrack for a second and talk about the other TV show that I just watched literally like for class this semester. And the new season is coming out, I think like in a couple weeks, that I'm super excited for, which is the Fallout TV show.
yeah.
And I had so much fun with that one. I thought the characters and the casting was like perfect. The plot was, I think, exactly what we needed to get into the world. I'm definitely more excited for what it's setting up for season 2. But I fell so in love with Lucy and the Ghoul Cooper especially are like two of my favorite characters. But everybody I think was like super well-rounded, and they did such a good job of like nailing the feel of it being a video game. And I am not typically like a gratuitous violence kind of person. It has to like fit for me to like it. And there's something about like the violence with the like retro soundtrack playing in the background that I was immediately after that first fight scene in the vault, I was like, I am locked in. I am all about this. And I just had a great time.
Yeah, it is such an awesome show. Like, I love the Fallout series. I am so excited they're going to New Vegas. Like Fallout New Vegas is probably my favorite Fallout game of them all. And so like just some of the clips they've shown with Mr. House and some of the other stuff, I cannot wait to see what they do, because if they hadn't nailed a lot of the stuff with season 1, I'd be a little more cautious with this one. But I'm extremely excited to see what they do. Just now that they know they've kind of nailed it and people are digging what they're doing, I'm very excited. The Death Claw Maximus, I really want to see a Death Claw too. Those are, and the Rad Scorpions. Yes. Oh yes, bring it on.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sorry.
All right, no. Before we move on to the next topic, I want Jack to talk about the Spirits Within, just because I'm really curious on your take on that.
I think it's an awesome movie. Like, I'm the only person that probably enjoyed Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within from 2000. I am unapologetically a big Final Fantasy fan. 6 is still my favorite, and with the knowledge that Sakaguchi wrote the story and directed the movie, I was like, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be the epitome of all cinema. They've revolutionized what CG is for 2000. This is going to be the cinematic masterpiece. Is it great? No, it's not. Is it a technical achievement? Absolutely. But you get some great voice performances from let's see, I think Ming Na's in this also, isn't she? Isn't she the main character? I'm blanking.
It's okay. I will.
But like, you've got Donald Sutherland in there. You've got Keith David doing Keith David things. You somehow you have Alec Baldwin in this, and you have Steve Buscemi. I mean, it's a fun cast. Most of them don't really have a whole bunch to do, and James Woods is in there somehow as the big bad guy, which sure. But like, it's
Ming Na Wen, Alec Baldwin, Ving Rhames, Steve Buscemi, Perry Gilpin, Donald Sutherland, James Woods, Keith David, Gene Simmons, Matt McKenzie, not not Kiss, Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons with a
yeah.
J. Matt McKenzie and John DeMitta.
Yeah, like it's a good cast. Unfortunately, like it in no way resembles a Final Fantasy movie at all, except for the Earth spirits and ghosts trying to go back to the world, which they can't. It's really convoluted. It makes you kind of wonder why the plot's just kind of MacGuffin.
I don't even remember the plot.
Oh, there isn't much of one. Like, we've got to gather these spirits, which are in these inanimate objects, and then we have to sacrifice them. And oh, by the way, Ming Na's character has one of the last ones. It's really weird. But like, for what it was at the time, it was a technical achievement. And the fact that it had Final Fantasy slapped all over it, and the fact that it nearly put Square out of business. It accounts for a lot.
Basically destroyed Sakaguchi.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Yeah, that I was so excited for that movie. I remember watching the trailers for it, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing!" And I was like, probably peak Final Fantasy love at the time. Like I was at the top of that, so I was so excited for it. I was showing everyone the trailer, and I took BreakmanX to see it. And I was so excited, and like literally, I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, she's never gonna like Final Fantasy now.
Yeah,
this is so bad. It was like you said, it's technically beautiful. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But like you could put a gun to my head and I wouldn't be able to tell you what the story is. I can't remember at all.
If I hadn't watched it like a year and a half ago again, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you either.
And I think there were like 5 people in the theater, including us.
That was the thing. Like, I was so hyped for it. Everybody that I worked with at the movie theater was so hyped for it because we were all Final Fantasy fans. And so like opening night, I was like, I want to work this because it's going to be huge. And like literally there's like 10 people in the audience. I'm like, oh no.
Rap.
Oh no. And yeah, it did not go well from there. I think I mean, financially, it did not do well, but I think internationally it did better than it did here domestically. So they got a little bit of their money back, but yeah, it was overall a huge bust.
I want to see if I can find how it did financially. I'm curious because I hear like I can't talk.
Superfluous.
Right. Yeah, thank you. The budget. Oh my good God, the budget was $137 million. Domestically, it made 32 million. Internationally, it made 53. So total, it made 85.
Yeah.
And with movies have to make double their budget to break even. So woof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
But hey, now we've got Squeenix and everything's going okay.
I want Sakaguchi to Final Fantasy again, Jack.
I know. Have you played Fantasian?
Yes. Good.
It's pretty good.
It's like it's a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
I liked we've talked about Lost Odyssey.
Yes.
Even Blue Dragon was okay.
Yeah, Blue Dragon was fine.
It was okay. Okay.
Lost Odyssey was way better.
And better than Final Fantasy 13.
Mm-hmm. All 3 of them.
All 3 of what?
Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, that's right. There were like 3 of them.
Yes.
But now, didn't Square announce they're doing some really dumb thing? Oh yeah, they're going all AI. They're replacing like tons of their QA workforce with AI people.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like the Spirits Within. It'll do awesome. All right, so games you'd like to see adapted is our last thing we're gonna go on. We had a little extra time tonight, but there's a ton of games. When I was doing this again, going through tech issues, so I just kind of went with the ones that came to my head. So obviously my top one is Final Fantasy VII. I'm trying to say something I haven't said before.
Got that twice though. You got Advent Children.
Advent Children doesn't count. I didn't like Advent Children. I still don't like it.
Fair enough.
It's not. I want like the story of Final Fantasy VII, not like an additional thing. I want like the story of Final Fantasy VII done well. But what I was going to say is a good friend of mine in high school, we started writing a script for the game, and I have it somewhere in here, like handwritten. We started writing a movie script to Final Fantasy VII, like putting in there, and like that would take a million years to do. And then we were trying to think of what things we'd leave out, and then we eventually gave up. But I still think it would make a good movie if condensed and strained and put through. I wouldn't want like 8 Final Fantasy VII movies. I would want one Final Fantasy VII movie that condensed the major points into a hour and a half to 2 hour movie. I would like that. All right, Jack, I would also like this one.
Yeah, so Control. I think they should make Control into a series, like the X-Files or anything like maybe Twin Peaks, but I think X-Files is probably better suited
Lynch
for it.
Couldn't have done something with it.
Yeah, but I think it would fit. Like you get your little monster of the week, your AWE of the week, and you get to kind of see what happens. You get some episodes that are silly, you get some that are scary, and you just have a lot of fun with the characters in the world, like Jesse and the guy that runs the Panopticon, and just there's a good cast of characters in there that I think they could do some fun stuff with. Plus, you get your again, monsters of the week are just silly, interesting things that can happen in that world.
I would watch it.
And I think I would watch it.
I think it'd be pretty easy to translate too. Like I think there's so much there already.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I really like the actress. I would hope that they would use her because I think she's really good.
I think they should, but yeah, I agree.
All right, Jess.
So I actually literally just thought about this one. It popped into my head, and I can't believe I didn't think about it sooner. But I want to see The Forest adapted into a movie. Because I can't remember the last time we got a survival horror movie where people are stranded on a deserted island type of thing.
Yeah.
And I love it's so hard to do. I've attempted twice now to do a contained horror, and it's such a difficult thing to pull off. Mm-hmm. But I think the setting and the premise of the game, which if you don't know, it's you as the player character plane crash onto an island, and then you have to search for your son, and there are cannibals on the island that you have to get through.
Yep.
And I just think there's so much plot that you can find in the game that I think would translate really well to a really disturbing, unsettling horror movie that I would love to see.
Yeah. Yep. Without a doubt. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I agree. So my next one, again, one of my absolute favorite stories of all time, along with 7, is Tactics. I love the story of that game. And I think, again, that would be one you'd have to compress a little bit. But honestly, the thing that makes Tactics so long is the grinding and all those little different battles you did. If you just condensed the story and streamlined it a little bit, I think it would be pretty cool. And I want to see that priest turn into the monster, because that's a really fun scene. What is that, 3/4 the way through the game? So yeah, I would like that. And Jack, this is such another great choice too.
Yeah, so I think Half-Life. I think if you took between Half-Life, Half-Life 2, and Half-Life Alyx, you probably get a good trilogy of movies. Hopefully you can make it a 4th one if Valve can ever count to 3.
They're struggling.
But I think that's something you could do. I don't know. It'd be interesting because I really don't think you'd have Gordon talk. But I'm sure they would blow right past that. But yeah, I think it's a fun world. I think the world building in Half-Life is probably the most important thing they do, and just getting something that would kind of have that moody, the tone between 1 and 2 is so different. Well, really between 1 and the rest of them is just so different because of what happens in the world in the meantime. It'd be really interesting to see it go from there to there. It'd kind of be that, I don't know if you would even do it as a stinger at the end of the first movie. It says, oh, hey, by the way, Here's what happened while you were gone, Gordon. So anyway, that's just me. I think it would be kind of fun, but
no, it would be fun.
I don't think they'll ever do it.
I don't think they'll ever do it either. Well, you never know though. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I think a Portal movie would be fun too. Sorry if that's on anyone's list. Is that anyone's list?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think a Portal movie. I just love the humor in Portal. So, all right. Well, should we end up here, Jess, and you do the last one?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
a cool
the
pick.
other one, I'm such a horror person. And I mentioned last week. Right. I mentioned last week I've been playing I'm Not a Human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the premise of that would also make like a fascinating movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it lives in that world of, I'm always really hesitant to want an adaptation of something that is like super story-based, video game-wise, because I'm kind of like, well, what is there to bring? Like, we've already got the story, it's already done well in a video game. But I feel like I'm Not a Human like kind of walks that line of there's enough story to be interesting, but an interesting enough world to like be able to expand and like deviate and like pull on things to make it set in the world, but not necessarily the story of the game. And I think it could work really well. I think it would work better as a movie, but I think there are ways that you could also make it into a TV show and it would work.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Well, very cool. This was a lot of fun. Again, I love hearing both of your takes on these different things. And now I have some movies to watch and maybe get a different opinion on than I had the first time, or movies that I never saw before, and then some fun ones there at the end to imagine. So, Jack, anything you'd like to say before we head out into the sunset?
Ooh, yes. Don't forget, go get Luminous Arise. It is out now. I played it in VR for the first time 2 nights ago, and it is, it's not, I would say, the most synesthesia thing I've ever played, but it is right up there with everything else synesthesia that I have ever played. And it is, if you think playing Luminous is exciting and frenetic and really hyper, you should play it in VR, because it is 100% that, because you've got all the stuff that's happening behind the screen when you're trying to put all your puzzle pieces together, but then it's also happening like around you too, and it's not distracting, but you get an even more of like a flow state. I can't really describe it, but it was incredible. Like the feeling I had playing Rez in 3D in VR the first time, it's same kind of thing. It was pretty amazing. So go check out Luminous Arise and play it in VR.
Well, I'm not going to play it in VR just because I don't like VR. But
I know.
I am going to play it. Jess,
you don't have to move around. You can just stand there and just sit and play it.
Maybe I'll try it then. I just get so nauseous. Jess, what about you this week?
I don't know if I have a whole lot to say. Again, like I said at the top, we're in crunch time for the end of the semester, so I think I've probably got about 2 weeks left to work, and then I will be free to play video games and enjoy things for a couple weeks, which I'm looking forward to. But
awesome.
Just kind of grinding for the time being.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And we will not see you next week on the game show, because next week is Thanksgiving. So hopefully you eat lots of good food, stuffed and other food, and enjoy the folks around your table and have a good time. But then we will join you the following week for some more game show goodness. So thank you for listening to the game show, and we will see you same time in 2 weeks.